Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Canucks with Guitars, presented by LPD Pedals, Reno Fin Custom Guitars, Tesi Switch, FU Tone, PTM Guitars, Flipside Music, and of course Ardens Music. Yay! I'm Ben, that's Trev, that's Terry. We're the team with the A's, because you got the Q's. Live Q&A for at least the next hour, or until, it's like soccer, until the ref goes... All right. Yeah, we get it. So already in the chat, we have a baker's dozen of folks and more pilot. Yep. Now we're getting up there. We've got Guitar Man 45, Hip Metal Works, T Ricky BC Rich 581, Joe Hervey 84, Presley. Let's say the whole word. California Customs. Michael B, Ferd Burfel, Bumble Bess. What's up, my friend? Who else we got in here? LRM Guitars, Scott Brockaway, Bent Tom. Great to see Brother Bent. Brother Tom. Both brothers. Triplets, if you will. Billy Baloney's here. Some guy named Terry's 3Gs. Never heard of him. Octopus Ears is here, though. That's good. Jeff P. Who else? Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Almost didn't sing his name last night. Now, you know what? Let's sing it. Rob's looking at me going, what? What have I agreed to do here? What is this? Yeah. Randy Crook is here. Good to see you. Who else? Said hi to all those folks already. I already said hi to them. Oh, there's quite the pre-gamers in here. Okay. Octopus Ear's got new gear. Vertical 212, I think I saw, from Victory.
Yeah.
Is that a checkered flag?
Good for that.
Jesus. Yeah, they're talking forever. All right. I'm just going to scroll the bottom. So if you said hello an hour ago, say hello again. Patrick Traits is here. Nice. Is anyone else way too sober right now?
What do you need, Tom?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I am drinking
Brad Stewart.
So...
Of course we have bourbon. I think we'll leave it
alone. Seems to be a little bit of both columns according to the chat. That's good. We got a wide demographic. BC Rich 581 says, yeah, the D'Addario hang was really interesting, actually. I thought so.
It's cool.
I learned a few things, and hey, Johnny Heartbreaker. Well, Patrick's got a couple Pilsners in him. I like that.
Nice.
Billy Baloney was tailgating. Nice. Highly recommended. Pre-gaming before the show is always a good idea. I do.
You know, that'd be interesting to know if we actually had tailgate parties done before Canucks with Guitars came on. Like, have people around having barbecue and drinks and stuff. That'd be awesome.
I always think it's like we're the tailgaters, when you're hanging out in a chat, waiting for one to start, it's like whenever you dip in, you might even be in there half an hour early or something like that, and it's like hanging out in line, waiting for that general admission from the unlock the door, and you're just, you make friends with those who you're in line with, you recognize a few, hey, you're coming to the show. And then, usually you got something just, hidden in a pocket or two, and then those pockets get lighter before the doors open. And they're like, hey, if you got any outside beverages on you, there's the trash can, and all you do is throw a bunch of empties in there and go, where's the washroom? I need to see the man about a horse. Matt Stewart says, Ben, I'm having a hard time believing that NYXL strings aren't hard on frets. Well, it's a steel core, but you still have nickel wrap.
Yeah. Nickel on nickel.
Yeah, and and it's not like, I don't think nickel frets I don't think they're pure nickel. I think they're a nickel alloy. Maybe Ben Tom, he knows about stuff. He might be able to comment on that. But
I think they're
I would say
20.
Also, it depends on the guitar. Like if you have one of those guitars that pretends to be another brand of guitar, we'll say. I'm looking at you, Chibsons, where the frets are essentially made out of solder, anyways.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what strings you put on that thing; they're going to dent. Absolute mayhem. I was thinking about you earlier today.
Speaking of which,
just showed up.
There we go. Hello, David Stratford.
Grasshopper.
Oh, grasshopper. Nylon strings are easy on frets. Yep. Lurking in the background. That's nice.
Actually, in that case, probably the fret would do more damage to the nylon string.
Well,
than
Guitar Man
the-
ordered a dozen sets of NYXLs, I assume, to check them out. Yeah.
There you go. It's like having access to our very own laboratory.
Yep. That's true.
And mad scientist.
What is shaking this table? That styrofoam that's leaning against the table. It's just whoa. Nice, Tom. He watched the infamous Big G hang. Rest in peace, Big G, Gary Tholander.
Yeah.
My favorite Mad Viking in the world who played guitar. Sorry, Zach Wild. I like Gary better. Gary returned my calls.
Yeah,
Zach
closer.
calls. But that was an epic hang. I drank just about all the moonshine that night. And Gary put a good dent into the world's supply of whiskey, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he made it back. That was the crazy part, because he left. And he's gone. Because he had, like, the big hook. Like, I believe his wife came and got him, And then he came back. We're like, you're alive and awake. That was awesome. It showed the trooper level.
Bent Tom, #David Stratford.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was definitely one for the ages. So yes, you will be missed, Gary. We love you, man.
Definitely will be missed.
Yeah. So what else do we have going on? For those who don't know, I don't know. People don't see everything on the channel, Terry. They have lives, is what I'm saying. So, this came into my life on Friday. Ooh. Part of the club. Joining the likes of Guitar Man 45 and soon-to-be member of the club, Ben Tom, depending on whether or not he has a tracking number yet. So, and possibly our friend Matt over at Jasco, because Jasco he's like, oh, do I have to get one of those? Yes. So, I'm digging it. I was saying off air, folks, I think for the first time in my life, for those who don't know, it's got a bunch of presets. That's why there's a thing here labeled, there's LEDs. Okay, we'll use this because the other one's on the board. It says presets there. And for the first time in my life, something that has presets, that I like the presets. And I won't need to make my own preset or, cranking on knobs for 14 and a half days until I get the setting I want. The setting 1A, here's Andy's setting. That works. But it's more than just, it's way more than just two memory mans side by each, because that's kind of what the idea was initially, because that's what Andy did. But you got different types of delays in here. Like you can have your bucket brigade, your tape delays, your halo delays, and then your, I guess, analog. Because they don't really give you just a straight old digital delay. Like here's a Boss DD right there, which they could have done. But they didn't, because they're like, does this say Boss? No, it says Keeley. And it's got blue lights instead of red lights.
You don't have to turn on the red light.
So, Martin Lemaire, he's like, are they talking Halos? I better jump in on that conversation. Do you have a Halo, Martin? Just curious. Yeah, so, I'm really digging that. And it's, I think the board is good for a while, because for me to keep working stereo backwards in the chain gets expensive, Trev, and I got to get, Trev knows, I got to get a pair of struts for the van tomorrow, so that's like all the pedal budget for a while, so they're not cheap. So I think I found a place I can get them cheaper, but they retail for $4.50 Canadian a piece, Trev, just for the strut.
Those are the McPherson struts?
I don't know. McPherson style, right? It's a modern strut assembly is. It's traditionally
suspension right here. Yeah, those caravans can be a bit of a mess.
Well, fortunately, I got a buddy that said I can fix that for you, and I didn't ask him how much he was going to charge me, but I know it's
fair.
Probably his rate will be what an hourly rate is anywhere else. You know what I mean? He'll charge you basically for an hour. You know, especially if you bring a box of cold snacks along.
That's right. With extra motivation. It's
like he is cold snack friendly. You know, doesn't work with me. You can bring me all the cold snacks you want. I'm like, yeah, I guess. You know, I might drink one or two, but with him, he's like, yeah, that works. Good.
Hey, Dan.
What's up, Dan? So, well, that's Canadian dollars too, Joe. So remember that. You got to do, stuff.
Tom said he ordered his last night, and it's already tracking and already on the way to his house.
Nice. Guitar Man 45 just says struts on his daughter's car, Dodge Journey. So probably similar, same thing. Hello, Riff. Extra F for emphasis.
Riff.
Side by each. It's been a while since I heard that. You're welcome. I'm guessing you're a fellow Canuck then. Riff. Just side by each. That's not even a Canuck thing. That's more of a Francophone Canadian situation. Yo, I saw them there, side by each, eh? And you're like, you think you're speaking English, but it's Franglish.
I was playing this.
Yes, sir. Thought so. Hey, Lucky Sevens. Cheers from Brantford.
Cheers.
Cool.
Brantford's a cool little town. It's got some. They had random concerts back in the day, Trev. For whatever reason, Brantford would sometimes get the random concert. They're like, no, we're not playing in London. We'll play in Brantford. Of course, home of Wayne Gretzky. Well, the whole Gretzky family, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because Brent and Keith are like, what about us? What about you, Brent and Keith? What about you? And of course, Walter and his lovely wife. And if you're a wrestling fan, back in the 80s, the old WWF used to do their TV tapings in Brantford for some fucking reason. I have no idea as to why. Other than the fact that I think it had to do with pay travel. And because, they would have had to fly from Toronto to Detroit, Terry. But if you do the TV taping in Brantford, which is a little bit closer, then they're like, no, here's just a stipend. You can drive.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Probably I think it was some cost-effective thing. So.
Octopus ears. Oh my god, it's terrible.
What? They talked to Rob a couple times on Reverb? What's wrong with that?
No, his last comment at 8:14.
William De Silva. Good to see William. He says he has the Echoes. Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up grabbing a Halo at some point. The Echoes was on the list at one point, but it had a looper, which I didn't need, and it may have something else I didn't need. I think it does, if I'm not mistaken, William, does it do both delay and reverb? I'm curious. Because I already had the Hydra, and that's were the reasons I didn't get it. Close to the Hamilton Rednecks. That's true too, LRM guitars. See, this is the Canadiana portion of the show. So if you're not from Canada, or maybe if you are and you're a little geographically challenged, I don't know, maybe you're not from Ontario and you want to get the map out on another tab, is what I'm saying.
Want me to get the map out?
Do we need the map, folks, is what I'm doing. Same cost-effective thing, Ben, throwing out all of that highfalutin, technically smarty pants talking. Yep, well, space-age polymers and silicon chips and such. No, it's just a digital tape sim and a looper. Ah, okay. Billy Baloney's 90 miles away. See, he had the map out, Trev.
Yeah.
How well do you know you're 90 miles away from Brantford, right?
Maybe he's made that trip a few times.
Well, there's also a pesky lake in the way. He'd have to go around. He's like, it's right over there. It's kind of like me with Rochester.
I gotta bring the map
hey,
up.
Hey, AQ Music.
What are we talking?
Up, AQ Music. Yes, here. How do we do this? And then we do
hop, skip, and a jump by
this.
road.
Oh, this. Oh, no. And then solo. Oh, no, then that's just Trev. There's ways, Terry, there's ways of doing it. There we go. See? Because since Trev does his own picture-in-picture, we just have us curve around. All right, so there we are.
You want to be down here by London, Sarnia?
Brantford is east of London.
Yeah, it's more
kind of south of Kitchener,
probably.
I think.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. It popped up on the map. So pretty much due west of Hamilton. Yep.
Up above.
We call that around the west coast of Lake Ontario to your right there, folks. That's called the Golden Horseshoe. Any guests lined up? Joe Hervey, yes. Yes. We have tentatively in a couple of weeks Stuart Cameron coming on, who's played with a variety of artists, including currently with the Crash Test Dummies, formerly of Matthew Good Band, played with his dad, other bands that I can't think of off the top of my head. And that's going to be fun. And also later in the month, I think in about 4 weeks, I want to say, because Sundays / Mondays are travel days, Trev.
Right.
You know, for the gigging guys. And that's one of the reasons we haven't had Sean Hurwitz on for a while, because that's his fly day quite often. But coming up in roughly a month, we have Big Hoss, the legend himself, coming on. Simon Hosford returning.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a while since he's been on.
Yes. Michael Krause says, is this a geography podcast? Yes.
Can be. At times. Just like some visual aids.
What's up, Half Ace? What's up, Jasco? Where's the Bronx on that map? I almost wore my Jasco shirt tonight, but then I thought I'd give Rob a shout out, you know, because we got the halo and all through TesiSwitch.com. Use coupon code Canucks and save 15%. Zoom in up close on Trev again. Well, we can do that. What?
Hey, Mark.
What? What's up, Mark? Oh. Pat Thomas taking the chat in a weird direction. Well, you know. Wouldn't be the first time. Would not be the first time, BC Rich. What's up, Josh?
It's all good. We don't discriminate.
Oh.
This is tonight's Canadian geography lesson. Yep.
Welcome to Geography 101.
I was just thinking one of our recent Zoom calls, Trev,
right?
When we were looking up port something or other there on Vancouver Island or island. It was a little island just off Vancouver Island.
Yeah, Island.
Paul McNary mentioned. And he's like, for the trumpet mouthpiece. And Charles just how do you know this? He's like, literally just all over the webcam. Hey, speaking of him, there's Charles 75N stuck in the car. He's probably thinking back to that and almost got in an accident. Oh, did Boner James sneak in here as well? I see Scott Brockway saying that Boner James is the sexiest man on YouTube, and you know, I can't counterpoint that.
Nope.
So
there's no way to refute that.
Yeah, I have to admit, sometimes the way Charles reacts, it's almost like watching those old school 80s episodes of, that's incredible!
Canucks with maps. Yes, Michael B. What else could we point out? Yeah, but I just remember that was so funny. He's like, how do you know about some guy that's out there, you know? And he's like, because I've been looking for the perfect mouthpiece for 50 years. It's like, of course you have, Paul.
Guy's got a reputation, obviously.
Even I got to admit, that's pretty eclectic.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how many of us in the community played trumpet at one time or another. There's several.
Trumpet for a minute. Didn't last long.
There's several of us. Like I haven't done it since high school, but I did it. What's up, John Shane? And one of the reasons was I saw Tommy Lee playing trumpet once in Night Ranger video. There's a horn part, and it's like Tommy Lee and like Weird Al and somebody else or something like that. I don't know. It was weird. And at that time, he had claimed that he played some trumpet in the high school band before the now rewritten history of only played drums in the high school band. So I don't know. So
there we go. A future episode: Canucks with clarinets.
Canucks with clarinets. That would be my sister. She played clarinet, I believe, in the high school band.
Yeah. Saxophones are
like that. Yes, Canada is big with trees. Yep.
And mooses.
Mooses.
And beavers.
Yeah.
And polar bears and flying hockey pucks.
Oh, you always got to be aware of the flying hockey pucks.
Mm-hmm.
I get black bears in my yard. I'm close enough to the forest for that to happen. But not often. It's seasonal.
If a black bear decides to go on a bit of a tour, I would have one in my yard. Like I'm black bear adjacent. You hear rumors of them around in the area, but I don't know how many kilometers do you have to drive to see one. I don't know. It could be 5, could be 50.
Right.
Especially as more and more
an old
developed.
couch or an old mattress, and then you don't have to worry about them other than sleeping on it or sitting on it.
What threw me off was as species expand more and more, and this is when you know you're not a kid anymore, right? Okay, because I was a few years ago. I'm driving home from band practice. Now I should say, band practice was held at our bass player's place out in the country trail. Okay, country road. You would drive down said country road, which was kind of like a concession road. It was a main. It would go down to a roundabout. I would take the roundabout and then take the first exit off, which is another little, and that's the road I basically lived off of. Okay, easy to get home. What I'm saying is, I may have kept the back of my throat wet from the singing in the practice, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm tooling home, and I got swerved due to nature on the road.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a fucking possum. Like, there's, and I'm like, no. Because that's like Fruitcake Tony's neck of the woods. Possums, right?
So?
And I'd slow down. I'm like, that's a fucking possum. What the actual? I'm like, did someone have a pet possum that got loose? Like, how? So I get home first, bring up the Google machine. Are they fucking like? Where's the range? And over the last 25 years, they've crossed the Great Lakes, and now they're. It's like when I was a kid, coyotes weren't really a thing, and now they're totally a thing everywhere. They've expanded that much just in our lifetimes.
Yeah, and they're even going as far in as Toronto now.
Oh yeah. So a possum. I'm like, what in the actual? It's like I expect that coming home from Mike's man cave, Terry. Heading back to the Speedway in Charlotte. A possum. Down south, possum. That makes sense. I didn't realize they could survive the Canadian winters. That's what I'm saying.
Canadian
winters. 39 people watching. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't already.
When I was a wee lad, we'd go to Winnipeg, Manitoba, to go visit Grandma at Christmas time. The snow banks were huge, and it was like minus 20 something all the freaking time. You don't really get winters like that. Here we are, 45, 50 years later.
Right. My dad would tell me about that. Speaking of which, shout out to everyone on the east coast of Canada, especially Cape Breton Island, and
we're getting hammered.
PEI as well, but Cape Breton, because especially that's where we have family down there, or had family. I don't think we may have some cousins down there. We do have some cousins, not in Sydney anymore, but on Cape Breton Island still, and they had, hey, I'm safe, type thing. So we're like, good, but the farm got beat up a little bit. So, but you're like on an off-grid farm. So how much infrastructure, unless you have tree goes through water retention or solar panels, you're kind of okay for or the roof stays in place. But we're talking off air about it. Like you see whole houses are like they were here and now they're here.
Yeah.
Or the natural wonders, like where there was this cool the teacup rock, because it was shaped like a teacup. It was perched. She gone. It went away.
There was a 300-year-old tree too, like one and only lone tree out in the field somewhere that was somewhat infamous, and it's toasted now. It's gone over.
Yeah. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Eric. I was going to say, I think Island Winder is from out around that area.
He's outside St. John's. Newfoundland. So I don't know if it curled up that far north before it went back out to sea or what the deal is. But yeah, definitely. Thinking of our friends on the East Coast, one.
Warlag's over there.
Warlag. Todd Roy. We see Todd mainly in Pete's chats because he does some moderating on Sunday nights and such. But anyone that's on the East Coast, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Brian's posted up on Facebook, but I don't think he's close. Well, he should be close enough to be affected by it.
He may have caught the edge of it in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
What's up, TK?
I do know that apparently Florida is looking to have it hit them shortly, too.
What's up, Dwight?
Cheers, Dwight.
That would be a different storm if it's Florida.
Yeah.
That's the new one. Ian or Ivan. Or
new and approved.
Come down. Worst case scenario for Tampa Bay, from what I saw earlier on the news feed. So that's when forecasting your hurricane, and they say it's pretty much worst case scenario.
I know. Well, technically, Scott, I think we've moved on from geography to the weather portion of the show. It's the weather portion. It's hot in Trevor's neck of the woods, and not so much here because I got the cool drizzle thing happening throughout the day. So, yeah. Did we say hey to the hitman, Dwight Bailey? Good to see Dwight Bailey in here.
Always good to see Dwight Bailey. The Chatterverse.
Well, that's BC Rich. The reason why the Earth is a little pudgier in the middle is because it's middle-aged. And like a lot of us, it just retains just a little around the middle. Same. That's why the Earth needs cargo shorts. Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian shirts.
I always like cargo shorts because they had enough pockets to put all your shit in.
Exactly. What's up, Randy Price? Yep. I agree. I like cargo shirts. Yeah, because worst case, pockets for all my normal stuff, and then the 2 leg pockets I can put pints in.
Perfect.
Actually, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there somebody at Winter NAMM that was going around in cargo shorts, and everybody was freaking out? Like, how can you be going around in cargo shorts?
Well, there's a lot of people in cargo shorts, especially if you're a certain physique. I'm looking at you, Steve from Boston.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Glenn also wore cargo shorts for a long time, too.
Oh, yeah. Black t-shirt and cargo shorts.
Yeah. Nothing says metal like...
I would wear cargo pants. Because, again, the extra pockets for battery packs and stuff like that. What's up, Doug Strong? Doug Strong knows what I'm talking about. You're at a trade show. You get pockets, for stuff. Especially swag. Yeah. So what else we got going on? Tom weighs the same as he did when he was 12. That, you know what? That could be a relative thing without seeing him, Trev, because for all we know, he could have been a very pudgy 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't know. We don't know. Cargo shorts and New Balance, the middle-aged uniform. Yep, Billy Baloney. That's true. You know what? If you wear that at, not only band practice, but, say, a show, you're definitely playing Rocky Mountain Way at some point in the evening. Guarantee it. Sweet Home Alabama, badly. Yeah. Mustang Sally. Yep, you're playing that. Cargo shorts go well together with Jack Daniels in the winter, Fruitcake Tony says.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I was like,
Michael Cross, I have tactical pants. So yeah, cargo pants.
But they're probably black, right? Or camo.
Yeah, those are your going to town cargo pants, because you can take a lady out on the town wearing the black ones.
Well, there is probably cargo shorts with zipper legs.
And the nice thing, now you're talking, Terry. That's the pants for all occasions, right? But the nice thing is, if your lady friend, she's got the little purse, and she's like, "Hey, can you hold this?" Well, you got the cargo pants just right in the pocket area. Hands are still free. Hands.
They're kind of rare, though, the women who have just a little clutch bags.
Yeah.
Most of the girlfriends I ever had like, almost like an Adidas bag full of
the total
bomb. They worked at restaurants, and they weren't necessarily going home every night, so they had to carry a lot of their crap around with them.
Well, my ex would have the little matching purse for the dress and all that, and the shoes. And
fancy.
Oh, yeah, she had the whole rig. Zipper legs equals winning. Exactly, Bill Aspie.
Billy.
I got a pair of the convertible pants that you can zip into shorts.
I don't, but I should.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's also the other kind of interesting point is to see a woman with a great big ass purse. And then go and see her open it up, and she's only got like one or two few things in it.
So here's the question. Grasshopper says New Balance does skateboarding shoes now, and they're popular. Is that for all us middle-aged skateboarders whose kids start skating? You're like, hey, let me give her a shot at her. You're like, oh yeah, we need a little more grip. Like getting back. Oh, I used to do it back in the day. Let's see if I can still do it. Any Eagles song? Yes, Billy. Exactly. I was going to say a bad rendition of Hotel California. That's a possibility at any given time. Let's see. Fixing machines. Most of my adult life, I use black dress pants from Value Village or some such store. Cheap, comfortable, easy to replace. I start buying my jeans there. Because, sure, you're paying the same amount for a used set of jeans that you're buying for new at the Walmart World thing. But those ones, the knees wear out in a year and a half.
I was just
I'd rather buy a nicer pair that are already broken in, for instance.
Probably been 30 years where my company buys my work pants. And it's a trip down to this place we've got up here in Canada called Mark's Work Warehouse.
Yeah. As per usual, we have an incoming photo to show.
Ooh. Show and tell.
Oh, I know who you are, buddy. I assume it's okay to show this off because he sent it to me live on air. Now, is that a reissue or no? That's clean. That's got to be a reissue. It's got to be. Or, okay, of course. Well, I don't know if that's for the showing of the photo or it's a reissue. But. Oh, is it? Really? Wow. It's clean. Oh, it's clean. Oh. All right, so Terry, you like Stratocaster-shaped objects, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, our friend at Jasco got... Here, you know what? Let's do it this way.
I was just going to say full screen it, or...
I could screen share that. All right.
Yeah,
we
screen share.
We shall.
Right. Use the technology.
Yep. Use the force. I can do that. Right. Now, if I do this... And we wait. Oh, sweet. And it... Okay, good. Kind of covers his name, too. Excellent. Share. Screen. Yes. Not video file. Chrome tab.
Share, not share.
Massager. Yeah, look at that. That would be a 61 Stratocaster.
Oh, wow.
Still shiny.
Well, Jasco's plumbing business is going good when...
Oh, that's nice with the burst with the rosewood board and it I zoomed in and you would think it was a reissue and not because I didn't see any checking scratches, like it's pretty. And I thought, well, it's got to be the one to the left of it because that could be a 61. It's kind of beat up and no, it's that. Yeah, not that beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful.
He almost looks like he hit that place that David used to go to there.
Well strung guitars, yes. Yeah. Hey, Craig T. Tomlinson.
Hey, Craig.
Speaking
Good day.
I just thought we're halfway through the show. That's Terry was just about to remind me. I swear, he was just about to. He was just waiting for me to take a breath because being polite. Guitar Man 45 is older than me.
There, Ben got the message.
Cushman, NYC. I want to thank the patrons over on Patreon who don't have a toque next to their name in the chats, but still like to support the channel. You can become one over there. I want to shout out LRM Guitars, T. Ricky, Guitar Man 45, Cousin Todd Flowers, Doug Strong, Randy Crux, Mo Hogany, Fruitcake Tony, Blackjack Guitar, Keith H., Paul McNary, Other Left, Ferd Burful, JP Page 2, John ZD351, Brother Ben Tom, actually, Jeff K., Grumpy Mike Guitar, Symmetry, that's I know him, Gear Junkie 35, Charles Green, Joe C., unfucking believable, and of course, Dr. Fabric himself, Charles 75.
Paging Dr. Fabric Top. Paging Dr. Fabric Top.
He's driving. He's driving. No, we don't know if he was driving. He was stuck in a car. He might have been in the trunk of the car. Do we need to call for help, Charles?
He didn't use the call for help emoji.
I just realized he said stuck in a car. You could have said sitting in a car, driving. No, stuck in a car.
Rolled over in a ditch?
Yeah, dare we ask how he's stuck in the car?
Yeah. Did you get there?
Hopefully comfortably waiting while somebody's out doing something.
I'm stuck in the trunk of the car. Can someone get me out?
Happy birthday, Eric. He looks 41 or 48 years old today. I won't feel 84 some days. I know that feeling. Happy birthday, my friend. I will celebrate that. As only I know how.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I got to catch up to the fog factor that Trev has going on there. It looks like he's in the basement on that 70s show. I love
it. Happy birthday, youngster.
He's catching up to me. 4 months behind. 4 months younger. Sup, Sassy Cat? Here for a few minutes. Here for a good time. Not a long time. So we'll have a good time. Because the sun can't shine every day.
I shouldn't have did that. Your cat might have heard me and started meowing, Ben.
Yeah. Don't tempt the fate. So there we go.
Is that a harmonica that they go into with that song there? When he's like,
oh yeah, the breakdown where the harmonica solo. That's a good song.
They were a really good bar band. I mean, if I had a bar, I'd want to come and play it.
They still play bars. They've gone full circle. They're kind of back doing the theater thing now. You know, now that the retro thing is all great, right?
From traction, yeah.
But they're like fucking Anvil. They'll play anywhere. You got the money, we got the time. You know.
Bring them out to a birthday party.
There's a question, or here's the question for anyone out there that might know. Harmonica. So if you want to get started playing harmonica,
yes.
Do you need to just buy one type of harmonica, or are you best to buy a set of harmonicas?
Just buy one and play in that key. Just buy one in the key of A, E, something that's common.
So what's the range of a harmonica? Is it like a single octave? Two? Does it depend? Can you get different ones? I guess because some are big and some are small.
I want to say 2 octave.
Yeah, I think maybe. Because like
there's
Trevor
a good
was saying,
fucking
you see
dozen
some
holes
of them
going
that are quite wide. Like,
oh yeah, and then you got the pedal steel versions with the shifters and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think changes keys. I don't know. Just one Honer Blues. Yes, but which key, Scott? There were different keys. It might even be just a pentatonic scale. I don't know. I haven't really played with one in ages. I have maybe one around here still. Maybe.
I have one, but it's like a kid-style one that's made out of plastic with the metal.
Mine is technically an actual one. Oh, I had two, because I also got one. Someone gave me a book on, hey, how to play harmonica. With a harmonica, of course, in a blister pack.
I got one upstairs.
I may own two.
The kid's grandfather bought her one.
Ah, 3 octaves for standard harp, 4 for extended. Thank you, Josh. See, it's a community.
Thanks, Josh.
It's a community. And, at least once a week, we have somebody in the chat that's like, hey, I know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd ask it as a generalized question to everyone.
They're in major, so you want G for E minor. Yeah, exactly. You're just playing the relative minor to whatever harp it is. Yeah, you get a G for playing an E minor. 16-hole chromatic harmonica has a range from C3, which is C below middle C on the piano, up to D7. It's 4 octaves plus C sharp and D. Oh, Google's my friend. Well, that's fine.
We're getting a variety of answers. Maybe, I guess, there's many different...
And also, you can buy one key and play it on every song, like Dylan. Like that, Michael Christ. Pedal steel is frighteningly complicated. BC Rich says, what? So, you don't want to... See, okay. So, advantage. You get to sit down while you play. That's an advantage. Disadvantage. You will be playing with both hands, both feet, and up to both knees. Depends on what you're trying to do. So, because there's the pedals, and then there's the knee bars, and then you got your volume that you're always riding, and then, and then the tuning. It's not low to high. It's weird. It's weird. C9? I don't know what a C9... What's a C9? Is that something I can even fret on a guitar?
More than a C7, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I stick to lap steel, because that's just open G. Or whatever you want. 6-string, open tuning.
Looks like I opened up...
our harmonica is available in minor keys. Well, you use them in the relative minor. I don't... yeah. If they're chromatic, then they're all the notes anyways. So you could play anything on it if it's chromatic. You just got to know what the notes are where.
That guy for Blues Traveler, the harp guy, I think I remember they did a
good day
rundown for him. And it was like, what was it, 12 harmonicas he had? It was
because you would have one for every key and probably backups too.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, 12.
I saw them live.
Hey, Lawrence.
Well, I mean, you probably know quite a few people that have close to 12 guitars.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
Well, and no, I get it. Like, to show up with a bunch of harmonicas, like, I think how many gigs I would show up with multiple guitars and not just as back, I'm playing one guitar and have 3 backups. No. I had a main, a backup, one in open G, and then maybe an acoustic as well. For instance,
well,
like there was like at least one because there was different reasonings, and then Rich would have a main, a backup in his 12-string, for instance. So between us, we would have a lot of guitars to cover a lot of territory. Then again, in other bands, literally, I played the same guitar all night because I was just there to do one thing. Didn't need to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, I think the interviewer was kind of on the same.
C13? Is it? I thought it was C9. Oh, there's both, maybe. I don't.
To enter Octopus Ears at 8:41, have you guys tried the Orange Terror stamp? Myself, no. I don't think Ben has. I don't think Trevor has.
No.
But if you want to know somebody,
I believe SPJ has.
Do it. Yes, Sean Pierce Johnson does have a review up on his channel for it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of orange stuff. Hey, Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
Yeah, C13, you sank my battleship. Exactly. Yeah.
Hi, Sandra.
Philip Ashby, which is honestly his wife's choice. I got a mandolin during the pandemic, and yeah, I can stick to sucking the one. Hey, Mark Dillon. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of out on the coast, he's in Newfoundland, first responder. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're safe. Yeah, I assume you're somewhat safe and well because you're hanging in the chat. priorities. He's smart enough, Trev, that he wouldn't be hanging in the chat during a crisis. He's not that guy. He would then just hit the thumbs up and be quiet. But it's great to see Mark in here. There we go.
14 harmonicas.
Tom with the link. 14. Wow. That's like all the harmonicas. That's all the harmonicas. I don't know. 48 people watching now. Blackjack Guitars here.
He's been here for a while.
Boomer's here.
Boomer.
Well, I can say hi more than once, Okay. Blackjack Guitar's still here. Is that better? What else do we have going on? Oh, no. Yes. Did I have a topic?
Joe Hervey asked Ben, Pete ever send you that neck?
Not yet. He's been busy. Yeah, he has to get a new neck for that guitar first.
Yeah.
So I was watching the other day. Something new out. New guitar. I want to say a new guitar. I saw a new guitar out. Who had a new guitar? RJ got a new guitar, but that wasn't it.
Octopus.
Not yet. Scott, again, he's been very busy, and other people pay him a bunch of loot to do that stuff. So it's in the studio, though. That's the funny part. It's like right there. It's like within arm's reach. It's right there.
Oh, there's a good one from Randy Crooks. Hey, Randy.
What's up, Randy? What would you prefer to listen? What period of music? Baroque chamber music. I don't even know what that is.
I'm 80s thrash.
Like, chamber music, Trev. The only thing I think of is chambers. It's like bedroom/dressing room, and I'm like, how fucking rich are you where you got a live band playing while you're brushing your hair out? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's an odd gig to play. That's the original corporate gig,
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'd say, like, if I had to pick a decade, for instance, I'd go with 70s.
Can we split decades and go 85 to 95? That's kind of where maybe
I can split decades, then I'll go 75 to 85.
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere probably 80s or 90s where it was a transitioning decade in music styles.
Oh.
Kind of like the 80s. The 80s transitioned through quite a few different styles of music.
There's a brief period, the late 70s into the early 80s where they were really starting to capture, like, just, like guitar tone would improve tremendously.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I could live without music post 1985 in many ways. I'm good there. Because there was some cool pop and stuff that was all coming out during that time, and then all the funk stuff. And
yeah, I think pretty much in my case, anything 2000 and newer, I think I've pretty
Boomer.
much...
I like 68 to 78. You basically got Hendrix to Van Halen. That's true. That is true. 76 to 86 from Michael B. So he just wants to skip ahead by a year from me. You're probably right, Craig. He says chamber is probably from the French word chambre, meaning room. Or coal chamber.
Excuse me.
Mark Dillon says 70 to 91. He's just going full on. Oh, excuse me.
I was going to say if I
68 to 88.
If I wanted to do a funny trolley response, I could say Nana Muscuri.
Actually, no. I go from 1957, 58, because I do like that stuff, right up until, I don't know, turn of the century, I guess. Up till, through the 90s, mid-50s through the 90s. I dig it all. All that Motown stuff and all the Memphis
the only
stuff.
thing I wasn't dealing with was the was when New Age country kicked off.
All right, I'm curious. When do you define New Age country?
Wasn't that about mid-90s?
Okay. I would say it started early maybe even it started late 80s, but Garth Brooks, right? That was high school. Yeah. So I'd say that was 92, 91, 92. And that came along with your Travis Tritts and and there was definitely a different style. Clint Black. It was more produced, and then of course that culminated by by 92, 93 with Billy Ray Cyrus with his fucking achy breaky. Oh my god, just that was just
yeah.
And then you had poor Dwight Yoakam just he's waving that Bakersfield flag going, I'm old school. Like, yes, you are, and I like you.
Yeah. Closest I ever get to country is Shania.
And that is a rock producer that produced an album for his wife that happened to take place in Nashville. Right. I'll happily keep Steve Earle and destroy most country after him. I like that, Michael Krause.
Kenny Rogers from Dolly Parton too.
Oh, Kenny Rogers was doing that pop country thing, which there is definitely you think the pop world is establishment. My God, country, Iron Fist, like they were creating everything, through RCA. They had the outlaw country that I like, the Waylon and the Willies and stuff like that. I love. Like Waylon, I'm just going to put a phaser on everything because it's like give her Haas, And there's somebody, he started out playing with Buddy Holly for fuck's sakes. And then right up through the 80s with the Highwaymen. Insane. Wheeler Walker Jr. is the only country I can stomach, Johnny Heartbreaker says. Kenny Rogers did have a great voice. I agree on that. And if you want to, his book was really good. It was really because it talks about he did the rock thing and then he did the country thing and then got into that crossover thing, where the movie soundtrack, Islands in the Stream situation, and then Live Aid. You might remember that, Trev, USA for Africa thing, because that was like Kenny Rogers, Lionel Richie, and either like David Foster or Quincy Jones or something, but it was like I'm reading the book also. I'm like, what? I do not remember you being one of the ground floor people. I'm like, I'm not doubting it, but it's like, but you were a big fucking deal at that time. He was making movies, and
I was gonna say I could see that unfortunately happening when Kenny Rogers passes away. That people will remember him for his roast chicken, and then there'll be people going, he did country music too.
He was in what was the name of his rock band? The Fifth Element. The drummer was Buddy. Went on to be an actor for years and tons of stuff. Always played like a biker.
As far as I know, Kenny Rogers is still alive.
It's not PTM Guitars. Either that or may have passed away in the last couple of years, possibly. Hey, Keith Campbell. Hey, hi, kids. Remember Ronnie James Keel? Keith. Yes. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. That's a bit of your Guitar Man 45ism, but on a smaller level, Trev.
There you go.
Yeah. He's currently... No, it's either him or Tracy Guns is currently over in Denmark. Doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, maybe it's Tracy that's over in Denmark.
He goes back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah. Ron Keel does do some country. Yeah, he'll still do the rock thing on occasion too. Whatever you want to book him for. Rainy Crook says, right now I find myself diving deeper into the blues of any kind. I did that in high school. I listened to a lot of blues in high school. Just woke up from a fat tummy nap. Yep, that happens.
Oh, I hate choking. Yes, I can confirm, yes, unfortunately, Kenny Rogers did pass away March 20th, 2020.
That would be a couple years ago.
Yeah, under music genres, they have him as country, pop, and soft rock.
Yep. Well, because he had a lot of crossover hits. He was not in Alcatraz, though. He's not Alcatraz. Hey, Rock Daddy. Good to see you. Hey, 47 people watching. Again, please leave a thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. Algorithms. Trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. Doubt it will happen by the end of the year, but one can hope. Pass me around like your favorite whatever. What else we have going on? Six Pack was a great movie, I will say. Played a NASCAR driver, for those who don't know.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Maybe, of course, he did the theme song for it, too. Because Mazel. I may even have that on DVD, come to think of it. See you, Mark. Have a good one, my friend.
Yep. Take care, Mark. Yeah,
do we have any other questions? If we missed a question of yours, folks, please repost it, because, lifestyle choices.
Chat moves fast.
PTM Guitars, Walter Trout is very good. I love Walter Trout, very underrated. I don't know how much I deep dive. Eric Gales is not human, I agree. Tom? Driver with 6 kids as the pit crew. Exactly. Yep, that was Six Pack. Hence the name. No, can't forget Buddy Guy. Yeah, Buddy Guy, great player. Still giving her.
Yeah, he still plays really good for his age.
He's like the last of the kind of OG, of that, or at least of that generation, right?
Yeah.
And the lineage that he brings forward. You think of the guys like old timers that a young Buddy Guy would have jammed with would be like the OG blues guys, Yeah. That they probably brought it up from Mississippi to Chicago, for instance.
Waters.
What's up, Steve Anderson?
Hey, Steve.
Apparently we have 38 thumbs ups. That's awesome.
39.
I believe Sassy Cat, that would be Toby Keith. Did this Red Solo Cup song.
The Red Solo Cup song. This sounds funny.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, you were mentioning about a new guitar, Ben, that just came out. Is it a Fender guitar, or like that one that's the heavily relic Telecaster? Or are you talking a more modern-ishy kind of...
No, I think somebody had a new signature guitar come out. You know what? That is a valid excuse, Steve, because everyone should take time in their day to groove out to Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, nice.
Because you'll be in a better mood as a result. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would say like a lot of the music in the late 70s, like around like groups like that, Casey and the Sunshine Band, it was all about kind of upbeat, kind of...
That's stuff too, like people, disco sucks. Yeah, well look, it's a bunch of actual musicians. Just, you got like, it ends up into like a P-Funk situation. We got like 14 people up on stage and they're all just fucking giving her. We got horns, we got singers, we got 3 guys going dee on a Telecaster or a fucking Strat. We don't know why, but they're there.
Bass players.
Real bass players that are playing all the notes. And then usually 2 percussionists, because you got a drummer and then another guy that's maybe playing bongos and fucking maracas and we got the little truck, and you're like, ooh, that was nice. And
Sly and the Family Stone it was amazing. Michael Krause said, yeah.
It's like, I was getting into the other night. I was watching a bunch of live Genesis stuff, and not newer stuff like 1982 tours and shit like that. And I was like, fuck yeah, like Abacab live. Yes, give me more. And then I got into the whole Invisible Touch tour. I was like, yeah, that was a big album, and that was a good album.
Billy Baloney says disco was the worst. True, but compared to modern hip hop and anything 2000 forward, I'd rather listen to disco.
Well, also disco was just that corporate sanitized funk without the funk,
Yeah.
It was just so...
Hey, JJ!
What's up, Brother James?
Right on.
Speaking of which, I can't do that. How would I put that link? All right. Can a fella? I think a fella could. If a fella forwards the link to Terry...
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to do that. That could have deleted it or something. All right, well, we'll just open it up. All right. Copy. Yes. All right. Then come over to Terry. And then I'm just going to dump this link in here. And Terry's going to post it in the chat. And all y'all, I don't care if everyone drops out of the live chat to leave. Go and vote for stay. For JJ. He's getting some radio play. We got to help him out, because that's what friends do.
One of them kicked him off the island kind of things, right? You're going to vote for him to stay.
I believe so. So let's throw it in there.
I gotta go to it and then post it up.
And I think JJ now he's got a guitar deal and sunglasses too, because that's cool. Because California, his future is so bright. He's got to have a shades endorsement.
He's got to wear him shades.
Yep. So, just saying. Everyone should check it out. And somebody must have posted our recent hang together with JJ and I, Trev, because all of a sudden it's getting traction. I'm just saying. And it's external sources. Well earned, JJ. Well earned. So, William voted yesterday. Yeah, so you're going to want to vote. You're going to see stay or go. Stay.
I think there's a pretty good chance it's staying, considering it's 98%.
Well, we need it to be all the percentages. Yep, that's fine, Joe. Like we got 52 people watching. I have no problem seeing it just dip. You know what I'm saying, Terry? Which tells us also how many people can open a secondary tab because they're on a computer or they're on the phone going, screw it, I'll be back. And that's fine. So, yes. And then in the meantime, I'm just gonna ramble and blab a bit. So then people aren't missing out and they don't have to rewind either. So, did anyone see the leaked new American vintage run from Fender Bridges? The cost gap between the Pro line and the custom shop, it looks like. Yeah, because they're getting rid of the Ultras, I think. Thanks for the love, everyone. If we win, we play the KLOS Hollywood Party. Yes. See, that's a big station. I knew of that station a while ago. So Joe voted. Michael Krause voted. Star Zero is it. Yes, Patrick Trites. And who watches on a phone? Johnny asked. People at work who are supposed to be working and they're not working. Well, our friend works at the airport, Terry. He's always watching on his phone. Jamal! Yes, thank you. Jamal's always watching on his phone.
There's also a link to JJ's new band's website, starzeroband.com.
Yep. They got a Facebook page, too, if you're on the face space. Let's check it out. Okay, Ferd voted. Doug voted. Now it says 98%. Yes! Let's get to 99. Come on. Yes.
Octopus Ears with a question.
Oh, there you go. What's everyone's favorite 212 cab or speaker combo? It's a rabbit hole I haven't gone down yet. I do have an opinion, and it's based on others' opinions because I trust their opinions. And I would say, you know what? I have heard JJ's Rivera vertical 212s. There, Trev. You know the ones.
Yeah.
They're nice. And they're nice. I think he's got eminent speakers in those. Also, though, I do like the idea of a greenback and a V30 combo. You know, that's Friedman, Pete Thorne.
Yeah.
Hello, Sergeant Greenleaf. He says, I watch TV and movies all day on my phone at the office. Got a magnet on the back and just stick it to the monitor stand. Perfect.
Nice.
People in the kitchen doing dishes and stuff. Yep. Charles, who's stuck in a car, he's like, why won't they just call 911?
I like BC Rich's answer at 906.
We're scrolling. Or maybe I haven't got it yet, because, no, let's go to the bottom. Using a 2x12 Panama cab myself, mine is the one in existence that hasn't shattered into pieces thus far.
That's what I said.
Wait for it. He's never used the footstool. He's never sat on it. He's never even placed a head on it, and that's how. And he's definitely never plugged his bass into it. JJ has two Rivera vertical to one with greenbacks and one with the EVM 12Ls. Well, I like that sound. My all-time favorite speaker is the Celestial Cream or Celestian Cream out of the. They're a little bit expensive. Ben,
yeah,
Tom's gone through about all the speakers too. So, Scott Brockway likes all the Gs, 65, 70, 80. He's not picky. Whatever flavor you have. William is currently using a DV77 with a creamback 65 in his 212. I don't know what the DV77 is, but it sounds lovely. So we say a lot of stuff without not saying anything. Trying to listen and read while stoned is proving to be an effort, Octopus Sears says. That's not a problem. Yeah. Welcome to my world.
All right.
Just saw an American Vintage Fenders. I'm definitely buying that 59 in Sonic Blue rainy prices. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we? Yeah, wait. I know them. Are they the ones that are doing the 67 Telly reissue? If so, then yeah, I've seen them for quite a while.
Yeah, in my case,
FK.
That's an awesome deal for the Harley Benton non-Celestine 2x12 for like
there you go,
$200.
Yeah, exactly, and then you can swap out whatever you want into it if you wanted to, right? That's the great thing about those is what you pay for a loaded cab is what an empty cab is worth.
And if you want the one with the Chinese Celestians in it, it's another, I think, $40, $50.
Or you just don't and put some real speakers in it. What's the difference between Alnico blue and gold? You know, Octopus Ears, that's a great question for someone like Dave Friedman or Pete Thorne. I'm not saying that we're idiots, but we're not the experts on that. Trev, can you prove me wrong? Do you know the difference?
Nothing better than Google search will prove. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. All I know is vintage 30s are more harsher than greenbacks. That I know, apparently.
Yeah.
Tele options are a 52, 58, and a 64. I would go with a 58 if it's actually like a 58 and would have a bit of V-neck on her.
Yeah, speaking of which, Glenn Fricker said when he was over in Europe, he actually went and toured Celestian.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to have a video up soon, actually being at the Celestian factory, and actual footage of the lady building, I think, one of the greenbacks. So that'll be interesting.
Blue 15 watt, gold 50 watt, cream Alnico is 90 watt.
Yeah, I was going to say
Tom is our resident speaker expert.
Yeah.
Too. So you'd have to be careful with those blues.
Yeah. You'd be better off with a 5-watt amp there.
Well, I think, how would that work? You would do 4 15s for a 50-watt head.
Yeah.
And wire them all up in series, I guess. I don't fucking know.
You have to split it for the resistance. You have to go 2 of them parallel and then series that. Or is it back the other way around, maybe? It's 2 sets of parallel.
Yeah, Tom is the man. Octopus ears. Now you guys know them all. Nope. Not that smart. If you put an AV30 in a greenback together, the 212 can only handle a 50-watt head. All right.
Yeah, I mean, when you start going down the rabbit hole for speakers, it's so hard to, like, you know, you think it's a simple thing, and then it's like, no, there's wattages. Then there's the actual ohm rating. Then also, what kind of magnet has it in it? Is it a ceramic? Is it an Alnico? What type of Alnico magnet? What type of ceramic magnet is it? It's like, it's crazy.
I like it, the 4 cream. I guess 4 cream Alnicos. I assume Tom might be using voice text. I don't know. 4x12 cabinet because it can handle 360 watts. Yeah, I don't understand. It says the 58 Tele has an early 58 large maple neck with a comfortable D-shaped profile. Then I am out. I do not want to have to sand the neck down, reshape the neck myself. What else we have going on here? Go a little while longer here, folks.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Good speaker chat, though.
What Ben was saying, it's another thing too. If you have like a low wattage amp, you can put louder speakers. Having it push louder speakers. It's just the opposite way around. You can't put low wattage speakers with a high wattage amp unless it's a bunch of them together, like you were saying.
That little 1-watt Marshall drives this 412 loud enough to rattle the windows in here. 1 watt.
Only V-shape is the 56 Strat. Interesting. Because usually you hear more, it's 57s in general that had the Vs. But then I think some could be a 50. But it also, they're all hand-shaped, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it all depends on how badly someone screwed up. Damn it, still not even. Next thing, V-neck.
Scott Brockway, high sensitive speakers will be louder, but less power handling.
Here you go, Michael Gross, you can have it. He's like, D-shape, Ben's out, I'm in. Boomer's new Esquire has the V-shape. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There is also the cone sizes. Yeah, the 55 versus 75. Tom. Oh, you know it all. In a good way. This is why, if I ever have a question on that, it's like phone a friend, Terry. If I got a pedal question, it's Eric, right? If I got a speaker question or an amp question, Tom. It's the way it works.
But yeah, Tom brings up a very valid point that you can buy a speaker, and if you're looking to do, low tuning, you could buy a speaker that's totally wrong for like lower tunings.
What do we got here? Don't like crispy shrill. Wait, oh, Mr. 1 Meg Pot says, I don't like crispy shrill highs. Had to do it, buddy. Had to do it.
Oh my god, that is funny.
Then he falls out. I do like shimmer. I do get that. And hey, Randy Upchurch is here. Just got back from closing a deal to get a Squire Base 6. Very cool. Nice. Randy Price, then, see, he's shopping. Ben, yes. 52 Tele has a large maple neck with a re-sculpted U-shaped. Yeah, U is like, you're going to have straightness on the sides.
It's like, large maple neck and re-sculpted.
Yeah, it's like,
U-shaped and rolled edge.
What did you use to shape that neck? Oh, we used exhaust clamp, and we just put some sandpaper around the inside.
Swiss Army knife?
Yeah. It started out as a 2x6 on edge, and we just started working it down. No, I am not a fan of the U's. That's all the shoulders. That's the exact opposite of a V is a U. Ben, do you have more pedals or more speakers? I'm embarrassed to say I have more speakers. I definitely don't have more speakers. I do not have speakers.
No, you got a lot of amps with speakers, but definitely not as much as you do pedals, no.
All right, how many speakers does Ben have, though? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20! I have more than 20 pedals.
Definitely.
5 counting the power supply.
Well, actually, if we count the Greta head that's on the workbench, it's got a built-in speaker, so 21.
Yeah.
Then I got the old radio that's converted into an amp, so I guess technically 22. Do we start counting the PA speakers too, I guess? Because there's 4 more over there.
Yeah.
And then we got the horns. Do the horns count? Because they're technically a speaker.
I got these old Techniques.
Scott brings up also a valid point. He says, also depends on your pickups.
Yes. It's really asking Tom to be prepared. I know you.
To answer John's question, I'm using 8 at the moment.
John asked the question is how many speakers do you use at once? Dos. Because I played through 2 112 combos.
Yeah, the
do combo amps count as speakers? Yes, depending on how many speakers are in said combo amp. Because it's a combo of a head and cab. Mm-hmm. Right? Is your pedal count higher than 75 this week? Yes.
You haven't gotten rid of anything over the...
They're coming in, but I don't think there's any going on.
Not in a couple weeks. No, guy, he said, hey. I'm like, yes. He's like, hey, can a fellow get a deal if he buys more than one? I said, sure. I said, I'll knock $5 off each one if you come pick them up. And he said, thanks, but no thanks. And I went, you were asking for $50 worth of pedals. I offered them to you for $40. I'm already knocking $10 off. Like, it's Kijiji. It's not, wait, what, did you want them shipped for that or something? Like, what the hell? It's like, one's priced at $30, one's priced at $20. How cheap did you want me to go? And could have made a counter offer that I could have said yes or no to, but
yeah, that's actually pretty sad that he said no to $5 off.
Yeah, per pedal.
Yeah.
And considering, like, say, one's priced at $30 and one's priced at $20, like, how low do you want? What, you want me to knock off $10 per pedal? So basically, you're getting one for free because you bought one from me? No. Someone offered Tom $400 for a $1,500 item. Wow.
Keith Campbell.
Yeah.
Can a fella?
Well, that. So, last week I stopped in at the Shoppers Drug Mart, Trev. Oh, Trev's he's on the call. See, he's muted. So, so what is it? Last week I'm at the Shoppers Drug Mart, right? And I put up on the counter just 2 loaves of bread and 2 bags of frozen French fries. And she's like, "Did you get everything you want?" I said, "Well, I was just coming in for some bread because I needed bread, but I saw you had the French fries on sale, so mazel."
Yeah.
She just looks at me like, and Mazel, pick them up. You know, it's just. Yeah, had an offer on the Embers today. Wow, $100. That's cheap. That's a low ball.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing.
William Silva bought a Cerberus Herberus. What the hell's a Cerberus Herberus? Just got shipped today.
That's
it's going to be it's got my C standard guitar, so it's probably got fan frets or something. I don't know. Probably an ebony fretboard, all the radius.
I'll look it up.
Or none of the radius.
Octopus ears. That'd be a good line. The guy once lowballed me once. I told him I'd do it if
I see that.
Job. He laughed.
What color did he say it was? He didn't.
He didn't. All right, what are these? All right, we got Solo Trev. Oh, yeah.
Cerberus Herberus.
Cerberus Herberus. 7-string. Yeah, I forget. I wasn't sure it'd have an extra string, but when he said C standard, I'm not sure. I am not knowing. I'm shrugging.
That's not bad.
I like the arm carve.
Hip shot bridge.
Yeah. Just one knob switch. Yep. That's fine.
Through and toggle single.
That looks the one that you have highlighted, Trev. I would almost think that's a baritone. How it looks like it's 24 frets. Yet look how far apart those pickups are, right? Because the bridge pickup still isn't even at the bridge. Long scale. Yeah, same thing.
26 and a half.
Not quite a baritone, but it's long.
I was going to say, it kind of looks a bit like those Reno guitars out of Quebec.
That's
cloud.
Yeah. You know she's a shredder guitar too when they do the offset dot inlays. For some reason. That just means that it's high power. You know,
I like the 5-piece neck.
It's got all the chugga. Sergeant and Greenleaf. What's up?
Tone stripes.
Tone stripes.
Yep. That's cool.
Well, congratulations, William. That looks like a fabulous guitar.
That's you're gonna get okay, yep, but that's it. But I got the 6-string. Okay. Did you get a long scale? How far does a fella? Well, you got the speeds back there, so a fella doesn't have to. It's not like playing a bass. First time you got to hit an F on a bass in a while, eh, Terry? You're like, oh, that's all the way. You're like, right, that's all the way. F.
Makes me think of like when I had that Epiphone Thunderbird bass. Oh my god, that was fun to play.
That's
especially when you got to get that low note and you really feel like you're stretching out.
And that's when you really hope for a well-cut nut because you do not want to ride an F any longer than you have to. You're like, oh, the tension's wearing out the finger, Trav. I might have to switch to the middle finger. Might need to double up. I'm not a man.
Guitarmery Atlas pickups.
25.5-inch scale. Okay, so that's not all. That's not all.
Fender scale.
Yeah. Thought it sounded familiar. Wasn't sure. Only been playing around with these things most of my life.
What color was it, Will? I didn't see that he mentioned it. Yeah, speaking of other interesting guitars that have came out also this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Those that don't mind the Harley Benton brand, they did release recently a version of the TE52, except a TE62 thin line. So it's like the TE52. Except
I assume that's their Telecaster shaped object?
Yeah, it's like the classic vibe butterscotch.
I was like,
it's like
I don't know what a TE52 is, and then you're like, then they did a thin line version. I'm like, of course they did, so it's definitely a Tele-shaped object. I think I played a Tele-shaped object of theirs. Played all right.
Like this one, except with an F-hole, and it has the.
Wait a minute, hold on, can I better be able to see some wood grain through that, Terry. All right, we're good. Remember, as per the Zoom call, Trev.
Right.
I have a real issue with butterscotch tellies, if they're not right.
Well, this is just natural. It's not butterscotch.
Yeah. Well, it does look. It come up though when you first pull up on camera. Like if you don't see the wood grain initially, it's
it
just
looks
a butterscotch telly with a
yeah.
blackguard, which I don't know. Like butterscotch has to be worn.
Yeah. So basically, like this, except it's a thin line like a Fender. It's got the specialty cut.
It's got an F hole.
Special. Yeah, it's got the F hole chambered, and it's got the Fender style pick guard.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, similar to the custom or the custom fin line that they
did, which never had a thin line. Have no desire to own a thin line telly. Just not. I don't know.
Pricing wise,
I'm like, why do I want to hog it all out, Terry, and put an F hole in it? You're removing a lot of twang out of that, and that's like it's kind of why I get a telly in the first place, for the twang factor.
Price of it looks like price of it is $232 Canadian, I think. That's
not shabby at all. That's like affinity territory.
Yeah. And then the other thing that they released,
but then they're shipping. That's
which is I think about
you can get affinity
Canadian
at any Fender dealer because that's what they're forced to carry from the start. Like, hey, can a guy snag on some custom shops? Like, you will take 50 affinities, sell those, and then we'll decide from there. All right.
And the other guitar that they released was a Harley Benton version of the Squire baritone Jazzmaster. 27-inch scale, P90 pickups, black on black, an ebonized or
I get it, Tom.
fingerboard with block inlays.
You pay for the wood they removed. This is true LRM guitars. You're paying for them. It's like when you're paying for them to beat the fuck out of your guitars for a relic guitar. Hey, before you send it to me, if I give you a few extra $100, can you just beat the crap out of it for me? I like the relic readies where they just a touch of just a kiss of nitro on it, and then if you look at it wrong, Trev, just checks, and just starts, so that's what you want because you want a relic kit, but with your own style, but you don't want to do it for 20 years. But hey, if it's your number one for 6 months and it's already starting to look played in like a few years, I'm okay with that.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
That's the both worlds. I did see a question in here. Hang on.
John's got a question.
No, hang on. It was up earlier. Sassy Cat. Who among us sounds like SRV straight out of the chute? That would be me until I warm up, and then it all goes to shit.
Yeah, I'll barely be able to do.
It's like literally, Trav. When I plug in that first chord, it's Pete Townsend, and after that, it's all downhill. Yeah.
Not my vocabulary either.
Okay, let's skip down. Thoughts on pine bodies? Never played one, but for some reason I feel they are a cheap wood. Well, John,
softwood.
I was good. If you're at all a klutz like me, stay away unless you want a relic guitar. And the reason being is, I have told the story in the past, but we have different subscribers from time to time. And so I bought one of those modern player Telemecasters, Trev, which had humbucker in the bridge with a mini toggle. And I like mini toggles because that's 80s. I like mini toggles. Could have done a push-pull pot. They're like, nope, mini toggle. Well, that's fine. Strat pickup in the middle, Tele neck pickup. And I just joined a cover band. This is going to cover all the bases. It's going to cover them all. That's awesome. Pine body. I was like, well, they did a few back in the day in a burst. It was a nice burst, pine body. And played it for about 10 hours. Frets started rising for joy out of the fretboard going, hey, you need... No. So we sent it off. And the guy dropped it during the repair. And it just shattered the finish around the jack. like just big pieces gone because soft wood paint can't stick when the dent's in because it's like, well, now it's an innie and there's less surface area. And the paint's like, I have no place to go. It's like, well, see ya, and that's where she gone.
Well,
which I like the idea because I figured because I'm going to beat the fuck out of it, it's going to start looking relict within a few years, and I was okay with that. Chipping on paints and stuff, but if you're easy and you're nice with your gear, I think a pine telly would be a nice option. I like the tones out of it.
That place, I think it's in New York, that Carmine Street Guitars or whatever, right? And he makes all of his guitars out of old wheat-covered lumber from 100-year-old buildings.
Yeah.
And he's got the girl Cindy who works there and makes her little guitars, and they're all soft body.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, John is right in regards to pine is cheap because there was tons of pine at the time back in the 50s for Fender.
And, because it was a cheap wood and that's why they used it. Cheap. And you know what? And in those ones, like that one too, like you're talking about, Trev, those reclaim ones. I like those too because just natural oil finish. Just do some oil on the wood, and that way, if it gets dinged, and who cares? Because they do it with knots in them and shit like that. And
she's doing wood burning now. She's got the little soldering iron thing going where she's doing these wood burn designs into the wood and stuff. And she's getting quite creative with the carving little turtle shells and crap. And
she did. She did the burning for Rhett Shull. I remember on his.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too with the pine is if you can get it kiln dried and take the moisture out of it, and that can also petrify it and make it a little bit more harder and alder-like.
Oh, hang on. Why don't I just do it? Wait, I'll do the same thing again. I'll just do the same thing again. So a few more minutes here because we got in another colorful photo. Let's bring that up on the screen. What are we looking at here? Focus. Oh,
pine and basswood are almost.
Oh, that's worn. Right. Yep, I like that. That's played in. Show this. This go. I'm assuming this is no, not slides. I don't even know. Who has slides? How does a guy upload a slide into? I don't know.
Scanner.
Your screen. Slides. There we go. No, we're not sharing StreamYard. Christ.
Right on, JJ. JJ got a big boost off of.
We got her to 99.
Oh, nice. Yes. Congrats, JJ.
Cheers, brother. I'll drink to that.
All right, so what am I doing here? Messenger.
Ben Tom even says here, Bullery pine is harder.
Look at that.
For many, many years before.
That's a nicely played in neck, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. What do we got going on for pedals in the background? It looks like a Phase 90 shaped object, but probably made by Joyo. We got something like a tuner typed object that he couldn't find the damn button to save his life, so he put one of those extra helper deals on there. And then we got this little thing. It's small, but he likes it. And then we got another Phase 90 shaped object over here, but it's got one of those buttons on it, so that means he likes it better than this one over here. Definitely. He's doing a side by each comparison. Yeah. And then down here we have his Viper amp. That's just hiding in the background. Pretend we didn't see that. And apparently an iPad, to look at himself while he's playing and stuff. Yep. So that's the story on Scott's guitar. And back to our regular scheduled programming. Yes. Awesome, JJ.
It's fantastic, man.
Yeah. See if you can resave it as a PDF. I don't know. What were we talking? Are we talking about slides again? I don't know. PDFs. They're pretty damn frustrating, is what they are.
Doug Strong, Belleville, internet engaged. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when Ben kind of locked up for a second.
Yeah, it happens. Well, it's raining, and I don't have real internet. And All right, what do we got here? Octopus ears. Have you guys heard of people talking about there's a ton of new growth that's going to lead to another era of great guitars in like 60 years? Weird. I've heard it being discussed. Well, like, why? All right, so corporate gathering thoughts. That's why you get what? Hey, I'm not cutting out, folks. Just the brain. All right. So a fella's got a corporation. And a fellow likes to spray, let's say, the nitro paint, Trev. And, and then Terry, he hugs trees for a living. And he's like, hey, you shoot nitro. That's not good. So we're going to do anti-environment. Well, Terry, how about, what if a fella plants a tree or two? And you're like, to offset what we're doing? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, all right. I'll stop shaking my fist at you, and I'll go shake my fist down the street at the next dude. So, Mazel plants some maples and some alders and the ashes before the Beatles get them. I'll be curious. In 20 years, what's an ash body guitar worth? Ooh, you gotta have an ash body. I've heard about these swamp ash bodies. Oh, gotta have one. And they're only vintage guitars that had them, like the 2020s and back. Ooh, we'll see. But yeah, like, why doesn't a company just buy a patch of land and start growing on some trees? You can still hire Bob's tree removal service to cut them down when it's time to cut them down. Like, you can bring in a logging company and say, hey. And then you work out with a sawmill. There's going to be a bunch of fine-ass hardwoods coming in. It's all the maples, right? And they're like, yeah, we're going to quarter sawn, all of it quarter sawn, and then you're going to put it all on a truck and you're going to ship it to Corona, California, because we're Fender, apparently. So, why not? I don't know.
I was just going to say, though I haven't heard of that talk recently, I have heard that, I think isn't it Martin or one of those other companies has done that, though. They've bought in a large plot of land and planted trees for that specific purpose of supplying themselves rather than the industry, which I think it's a very smart business investment in their sake.
Well, if you want those so-called tone woods, and especially for acoustic manufacturer, tone wood is the thing with acoustics. You're plugging into a monstrosity pedal board like myself. Tone wood is not really a thing, Terry. It's all subliminal up in the cranial areas. Although maybe tone woods feel different. I don't know.
I also think Framus might have done it as well too.
Framus?
Yeah, I think they might have also done so as well too.
I know Taylor is big on. They've basically gone to every resident in Hawaii, and go, hey, a fella can't help but notice you got a koa tree growing in the yard there, right? They're like, yeah. We have no plans on cutting it down. No. Just saying. Hurricane, typhoon, because Pacific. Right. If a typhoon happens on you, or a big-ass one of those big-ass branches happens to fall off or something, give a fella a call, because I will pay for it. Because that's been a joke for years. Like, if a koa tree falls, Taylor hears it, they've got all the koa, and I get it. And, yeah, Boots. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Godin does stuff like that. Okay. That makes sense. It's Quebec.
There's a lot of old growth forestry that came down in the big windstorm we had about a decade ago.
Yeah.
Stanley Park and stuff, like hundreds of years old trees.
Right.
And had to close the park down for like months to clear the shit out.
You really hope that some luthiers were able to get, or at least, or furniture makers or whomever, and it's not just
tons of artisans around. I'm sure it got swallowed up.
Yeah. Yeah, like the switchboard at the Parks Department is just lighting up. Hey, can a fella maybe snag on a trunk or two? Like, oh, what's fella building? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
So there we are. All the Koa. Exactly, Tom. All the Koa. Hey, I say there was a Taylor I liked. I played, and then I found out it cost. I think it was on sale for $7,000, and it was all Koa. Koa top, Koa sides, Koa back. I don't know what the neck was. Could have been Koa. I don't know, but that thing sounded wonderful. But again, I was like, you can buy like 3 cars for that much money. 2 to drive and 1 to park in the yard for parts. Just saying.
I'd buy you what? 7 Chevettes?
$7,000? Maybe 14 Chevettes. Aren't they all $500 a piece still to this day?
Yeah, so
even a $500 car is a $1,000 car now.
Speaking of which, so coming up this week, folks, another vintage engine video will be coming up. I was out at Rich's place. He just sold a Chevette. Throw it on. I think he threw it on the Face Space Marketplace. Hour and a half. Snagged on.
Wow.
Young guys are still using them as winter beaters. I was like, I know. I see them around. I love it. But you just wonder, how many Chevettes do they make? Because how many shit boxes my friends had? And that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you gotta start wondering where the parts are for those, because you'd think by now a lot of them would be worn out.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't find any in wreckers, and dealerships or manufacturers make parts for 20 years. But there'd still be a lot of parts out there in the... it's surprising what you can still just snag at the Napa. Worst case, we got one in the warehouse, because they still have this stuff.
And I agree.
You have thrown down that gauntlet, Guitar Man 45s. He says he's got some nice Taylors that he's sure I'll like. Now, do I just go, yeah, but it's not a Martin. Yeah, but it's not a Martin. He's like, it's so great. Oh, yeah, but it's not a Martin.
Yeah. Rainy Crooks, my friend had a Chevette 40 years ago.
Right. Miatas are still a thing. Those are totally a thing. Because they race those things a lot. There's a lot of club circuits that do Miata classes and stuff. Or MX3 classes or whatever. I don't know what they go by. I just still see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man whenever I see the front end of a Miata. Can't unsee it. So on that note, we should probably wrap things up. We've been going well over an hour, well into overtime. 53 people still watching. So we've got the engine video coming up. May have a soda pop video coming up this week too, as well as either the Kramer gets worked on or I'm going to restring the classical because I really want to restring the classical, Terry. I really want to play the classical and restring that stuff. So, but I got to go. I got to buy some struts first. Order them on off the inner Google here. I think we're going to do that. Just find the cheapest ones we can find on the internet. I'm sure they'll be fine. And then
Amazon.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'll go Jungle Web. Well, Jungle website would probably still be better than the Evil Bay. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, that's been Trev. That's been Terry. This has been me. You're welcome for the memories, Paul. I'm sure you giggled at least 14 times during the show. Is Doug's voice okay this week? Well, he keeps saying he's got a rant, Keith. He's got rants. He's got rants. Boy. I'm just saying. Involving the 24 and the 11, right? Oh, they had all the cautions on Sunday, Terry. All the caution. Like, if you did a conservative setup on your right front tire, Trev, you're fine. Tire's going to last all day, right? 75, 80 laps, no problem. But if you're cheating, maybe leaning that camber in, maybe dropping that tire pressure a bit.
Pushing the envelope.
If you happen to have that set up in your right front, okay, and be leading a lap, or leading at the time, when you drive for apparently 34 laps, if you're leading the race with that, boom, wall, in turn 4. It was every 15 minutes. It was just like, holy crap.
Jeez, that's strange.
So that was better than last week, Terry, when a third of the field lost their power steering a third of the way through the race. And because it's racket pinion, it wasn't like all of a sudden it's all hard to work. It was like, no, it doesn't work anymore. It's just locked.
Oh my God.
So that happened. Yeah. So all the cautions, exactly. All the well, and then there was the rain delay / lightning delay. So because a fella adds 2 hours onto the recording just to be safe for Trev, in case there's all the cautions or a rain delay and they got to drive the truck. I still missed the last 20 laps of the race. I had to watch the rest online. Found it. What's up, Gino? Just wrapping things up. So, yeah, so that's what's going on the channel. So you'll be seeing us later because we'll be seeing you if you put out content. Don't put out the content, don't get to see you. That's how it works. It's YouTube. Great to see all returning faces, newer names, all about. Thanks to the mods for modding.
Always a pleasure to hang out.
Shout out to JJ, Star Zero, member.
Yeah.
Check it out. Vote. Throw the link in once more, Terry, for those that are joining late. Check out the link. Vote to stay, folks. Huge boost to they win, they're gonna play some Hollywood Party. This is good, because Hollywood people, they got the money. Just play private parties in LA, Trev. Fuck being famous, they're gonna pay you the same. They'll pay the same. So as always, hold those doors open. Let Terry and Hetty in traffic, because if he's driving, he's in a hurry somewhere. Be good to each other. Be well. Vote to stay. Exactly. Hashtag stay. Great. Perfect on that note. And, there's the outro. Perfect.
Cheers, everybody.
See you, Dale.
Don't litter.